Downey, we'll come to you first, please.
Morning, Steve.
Heath, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I guess you are as well after what's been a pretty positive start to the season.
Well, there's nothing better for anybody to go away from home and win, especially in the Premier League, because we know how difficult it is. So, but it wasn't just the way. It wasn't just the victory what pleased me. It's the way we went about it too. You know, with 3 new faces in the squad that look as if they've been here for years, never mind a week. So that pleased me. And all 3 of them had wonderful debuts, which also helps the situation too. So, yeah, all in all, we've had a decent start, but we're not going to get too carried away over one result because there's still a long way to go.
Was that part of the plan, Steve, to bring players in who were ready-made just to hit the ground running?
Yeah, I think it was vitally important of the season, what lies ahead. Let's be fair. The season now is condensed, and we're 7 weeks short. I think it's something like 7 weeks short. So we're going to play a lot of games in a short period of time, and we felt, and I must stress we. You know, it's not just myself here. We, you know, that we felt that we need people who can come in and don't have a problem with language, for example, don't have a problem to settle into this country, don't have a problem with getting into the Premier League. Can we have people who can hit the ground running straight away? And when you pick the personalities we have done, along with the ability they've got, then I'm delighted that they've come into the club and have such a positive impact from everybody. They've walked through the door, and you know what Newcastle's like, Keith, up here. You know, it give everybody a lift just at the right time, and that was good to see.
I think you surprised a few people by starting Wilson and Carroll together. Was that part of the thinking, though, when you brought Wilson here, that the 2 of them could team up like that?
Well, we'll keep Callum out the road for a minute, but just to talk on Andy. Andy has not missed a day in training or a minute since we came back from lockdown. And as soon as he walked through the door again, we thought he looks lean and fit and keeping him fit. And I think that is the key to it. He scored a couple of times in pre-season, done everything we asked of him. So he deserved his chance because he was we only had him, to be fair, up front, and he took his chance. And I think he deserved to play. And then obviously with the arrival of Callum, I just know, being an ex-centre half, that, you know, to play against them 2 is going to be difficult. So I had really little hesitation, especially with Andy's physicality, because I think when West Ham made their subs, I think they had 8 of them, or might have been 6'3". So we needed a bit of physicality in the team too to handle what West Ham were going to throw at us.
In terms of this cup competition, obviously you did take particularly the FA Cup seriously last season. Will you be doing that with this, or making a raft of changes?
We'll still take it seriously, but you know, the competition this year, as I said, was condensed by 7 weeks. So we're going to play a lot more games. But look, I've got a squad now. I had 7 behind me on Saturday who, you know, all probably played in the team last year or have got in the team. So I've got a squad of players now who I will make changes. I'm not going to dispute that. But when I look at what we've got in strength, then I still expect us to try and get through. And I think that's going to be vitally important for the players who haven't played. And the one thing which we have struggled with since I've been in the club anyway is playing the amount of games over Christmas last year. You know, we were playing Saturday, whatever it was. We struggled with it. And we struggled in lockdown towards the back end of it. So we will be making changes. I'll make no excuse for that, but I still expect us to be getting into the next round.
Obviously, you said a couple of times last week that you need to trim the squad due to the new lads coming in. Has there been any developments over the weekend? Are you closer to anyone else going out the door?
I think Mutu will probably join a club in Spain over the next 24 hours. I expect that to go ahead. We've seen Flo Lejeune go out. So, as I've said, at the moment, we've got something like 28 players, Keith. And I can only name 22 in 3 weeks' time. So there will be 1 or 2 who need to go and play. You know, we've got 2 or 3 at the club who I have had conversations with, and their understanding is exactly the same as me. A footballer, if you're not going to play or you're not going to be involved in a 22, then it's a dark place to be in. So we want to try and avoid that if we can.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers.
I'm going to go to Chris Conway at Tyne-Tees.
Morning, Steve.
Chris, good morning.
Is the sort of best thing about that West Ham win the fact that it really, you start off on such a positive after the sort of you said yourself the tough end to last season.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much of a turnaround. We knew at the back end of the season that it was going to be difficult. We had, in 8 games or something, we had Man City twice, we had the champions Liverpool, we had Tottenham. So we knew our start of the season last year and our end of the season was going to be, when you've got the big uns all at once. But we all know what the Premier League is. It's unrelenting. Every team's got good players. We've seen Leeds go to Anfield and put up a wonder show. And you look at them thinking, wow, that's just a promoted team. How good were they? So we're under no illusion of how difficult this competition is. To get off to a good start always helps, but we must just remember it's only 1 game, so we can't get carried away. But it gives ourselves everybody a lift, especially where the new lads come and adapted, playing a different way, different system. I think the players enjoyed it, and especially when you win, of course, they enjoy it even more.
You talk about the new lads. How nice was it to have Callum Wilson, who is an out and out striker? It just looked like a completely different team compared to last season.
Well, I mean, look, that's why we, and I must stress we went down the route of bringing in people who can hit the ground running. There won't be any adaptation to, getting used to the climate, getting used to the weather, getting used to the food, getting used to more importantly, the Premier League. And I think, we decided that, can we go down the road that people can hit the ground running? I couldn't have wished for a better start for the 3 of them. I thought the young left back had a terrific game for his debut for somebody so young, and of course Jeff makes one, scores one, and the centre forward gets off the mark with a typical sort of goal, which only a striker gets. So they made a difference. They made a difference to the whole week in the build-up to it. So, we know how important it is for momentum in Newcastle, that's for sure. We've had a good week. Now let's start with another one. Let's see what we can do tomorrow night and get ready for Brighton.
You know yourself, being a Newcastle supporter and being from the area, how quickly fans, I don't want to say get carried away, but how quickly their expectations and hopes can change. Do you think because of the way that you've gone about the opening of the season that perhaps your expectations and targets may change as a result, now that you've seen what you can do?
Just to start, and you're starting to sound like one of them supporters. I seen a mate of mine this morning, he said, it's the best we've played in 2-3 years. I said, really? I'm not so sure about that, but yeah, well, if that's what you think. And look, we're going to be a little bit different this year. I said last year that we would try and change, and I didn't think we were ready for it. With the players now that we've brought in, and also the players that we brought in the last 12 months, the squad's bigger and better, and we'll try and be the way we were against West Ham. Now, maybe a little bit different against the real big boys of the league, but that's the way we want to try and be.
I know Mike Ashley was at the game on Saturday night. Did you see him afterwards? Did you speak to him?
No, I didn't see him afterwards, but I believe he was delighted, and it was good to see him enjoy and watch his team win and play, and good for him. As I've said many times, we're better with the owner on board than not on board. So good. I'm glad he's enjoyed his Saturday night.
And just last one from me on the cup game. Obviously, the new additions mean on paper the squad looks stronger. So you should in theory have enough to have a real good go at the cup. Well, we will. We will make wholesale changes. I'm not going to deny that. But I believe that's the best way forward. I'd be ridiculous if I didn't. With the squad of players we've got, some need the game.
Some are itching to play. Ryan Fraser will make his debut, and Kieran Clark will play, who hasn't played for a long, long time. So there's some players who need a game, but the squad is big enough now to make them changes. And let's hope we can get through to the next round.
Sorry, Steve, one other question. Any more incomings? I know Keith touched on outgoings, but do you think there'll be any more incomings?
I'm not going to say never. I'm never going to say never, but I think I've got to concentrate on letting people leave the club, because, as I've said many times now, we've got to choose a squad of 22 outfield players. We've got 3 goalkeepers, 22 outfield players in the next couple of weeks. And at the minute, I think I've got 28, 29, which is not healthy.
Great. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Keith and Chris. Written guys, if you can use the raise hand function for questions now. Chris and Keith, I'm just going to take you off the call. Thank you.